All right, welcome everybody to Conscious Connections podcast. I am your host, Nicole Blackson. Today we have two special guests, Mr. and Mrs. Muhammad. As we know, Tami and E. Welcome, y'all.
Thank you.
How y'all feeling today? Let's get a little checkpoint. How y'all feeling?
Fantastic. We good.
We good?
We out here.
Yeah, we good. You spoke for us, yeah.
All right, cool. I like it. I'm on that vibe too. So before we even get started in the real interview, getting up in y'all business a little bit, I just want to ask y'all the general question. What does it mean to consciously connect?
To consciously connect?
Yeah. That's the name of the podcast, Conscious Connections.
Interesting. The first thing, something just hit my head. What do you think?
Okay. Well, to me, to consciously connect is to be aware that you're making the attempt to connect. And when, connection is reached, you're like, yeah, I'm doing this. I'm in the process of connecting. Like we're connecting. To be aware of it, to consciously attempt it. Yeah.
The immediate thing that came to my head is like sometimes when you connect with somebody, it's like it just happens. You just connect with a person. For me, the conscious connection comes when things fall apart, and then making a decision to keep moving.
Yeah, bring it back.
Yeah, to when you bring it back. That's for me more of like the conscious connection.
Word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think for our listeners, they don't see the visual that I see right now. But when you were pondering on the question, you leaned over to him, you turned to him, and then you touched him. So just like even that checking in and then saying like, what do you think? Like say if it's a petty argument or maybe a serious one, what do you think? Just that question right there to me is like, that's a decision to consciously connect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Because I thought it was profound in the way you just did that.
Aw.
Yeah.
That's right. We do that.
I got it. Listen, I am here as a host, but also a part of the audience. I'm here to glean from the wisdom, right?
Go on, glean.
Yeah. First, give us a picture. I know y'all have been together for a while, but I cannot remember the years. Give us a little backgrounds to when y'all met. When did y'all get married?
Oh, boy. Yeah, you want to tell it?
Always.
You want to tell
Do
us?
you want? I'm gonna have to because I'm gonna interrupt you if you.
Exactly.
That's not how it happened.
That's how it happens. Break it down.
So we met in 2007. Is when we met. He was at the Clef Club. The moment I saw him walk on stage, I never met him before. He was living in Baltimore. He is really corny, but he walked on stage and I immediately said, he feels good to me, is what I said. I was with Miss Wise.
Okay.
I said that without hearing him say anything out of his mouth yet. I was like, who was that? Like, I don't know what happened, but then, he did his thing. Then I'm really like, oh, okay, or whatever. And, she's like, he got a girlfriend. I'm like, okay, just introduce me. I'm not going to like, and then like.
We can be friends.
2 years later. And I didn't say anything to him. We just met on the stairway, shook hands.
Yeah.
He had no idea. We did a show together like the following year, gave him no vibes. I'm not trying to disrespect anybody's situation. So then I baited him in when I found out he no longer was in a situation.
Make note of that. She baited me.
I did. I baited. And this is the first time.
I support her.
It's probably the first time I'm actually admitting to baiting him. And a couple of years later, I wrote a poem, and I didn't like pounce right when I found out he broke up. It was months later. It was like 3 to 4 months after he was no longer in a relationship. And I wrote this poem called There's This Guy. And it was about like, because I was single for 2 years. I would hear about all these people that got crushes on me, but no one would say anything to me. So I'm just out here single. And so I wrote this poem. I tagged a whole bunch of people in it. I really only wanted to send it to him, but I tagged like Just Greg Vision. I tagged everybody in this post. He was the only person out of all the people that I tagged to inbox me.
Slid in the inbox.
Oh yeah,
this is back then. Now I can't say the DMs. It was the inbox.
It was the DM.
Oh, it was the DM.
It was the DM. Facebook.
Well, you gotta say the inbox.
It was
Facebook.
the inbox. We wasn't calling it.
It was
the DM.
inbox.
Gram is DM. You showing your age a little bit.
But I'm showing my age a little bit. But I mean, just to be clear, it's like it was the nature of the poem that she wrote because being a performance artist, the sentiment that was in the poem was that people kind of know you as an artist or in this thing.
They mystify it.
Right. Yeah. Not you as an actual person. So she ended the poem talking about, I want somebody to actually meet me. Like, hi, I'm Tami. Like, no stage name, none of these things, Yeah,
it said, like, LadySarkazym is a stage presence. And it said, something like, my name is Tamara. It's nice to finally meet you. And he inboxed me and said, hi, my name is Eric. It's nice to meet you.
I did.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you see what I did there, right? Real slick, right?
Conversation.
Yeah,
keep it rolling.
Yeah, I'm like,
And then, like, after that, like, that was November of 2009. No, December. I'm sorry. December 8th, 2009.
Okay. Yes.
And then by December 18th, I got snowed in at his house in Baltimore.
Yeah.
On purpose, not home. On purpose. I knew it was going to snow. I got snowed in.
Yeah. They predicted a snowstorm and then she comes to Baltimore.
Yeah, me, Miss Wise, we went to Beefy Fridays in Baltimore. I knew it was going to snow. He said he had an extra room in case it snowed, but I know it's going to snow.
Right.
Oh, trains aren't running. So, but it could have went horribly wrong because I stayed at his house for the weekend. I didn't know this man. We just talked on the phone for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But it was completely comfortable. Completely comfortable. And then we were in a relationship by New Year's Eve.
Yes, we were.
And we've been together ever since.
When did y'all get married?
2013.
Yes. 2013.
June 7th, Prince's birthday, 2013.
Okay. Prince and the Prince fans in the building.
Okay. Nice. So you both mentioned just like your artistry and being poets. What is that like now that you all know each other, but you also know each other's craft and have the same craft? What is that like for you? Or how do you balance it?
It is the balance. It's like we don't have to. Yeah, I don't even want to call it a balance.
Yeah, it's not a balance at all. Fortunately for both of us, like our artistry thing is nothing far removed from who we actually are. So we don't like get on stage and transform into something else. It's an extension of who we are. Like, like, oh, let me make a sandwich. Oh, let me write a poem. Okay, let me go take this poem and do it in front of people. It's part of our way of being. It could have went horribly wrong if we were different types of artists where someone you turn yourself on when you in front of people and you're this persona but you're not that person, so you got to find this balance of this, that, and the other. We take our daily conversations, our arguments with each other, we put them into poems, and it's like, hey, check this out, I'm taking this to the stage. Oh, that's our argument from last night. Yeah, go ahead, do that. Is part of our, our cathartic process, is part of our living. So some of the poems where it's like, this trifling ass dude that she wrote is about me. You know what I mean? So, and vice versa.
but I think that's a part of it.
It's, we're very transparent. And the consent is there because, sometimes
what I saw
it's not
earlier.
there though.
Because he produces my stuff, so, he has to keep listening to it. Then he'll be like, wait a minute.
Yeah, exactly.
It sounds too familiar.
Yeah, so we're in the studio, she's spitting stuff, and I'm making tracks. So like, oh, this is slick. He did what? Wait a minute, that's me. So it's so sometimes not consent. It's not, but with us, it doesn't have to be consent. It's part of,
there's an acceptance with that.
Yeah, because our art is real. Our art is real, and it's, our life is real. So it's like, oh, she talking about me. You got me with that, but I did say that. Oh, all right. So
because people who are not, into the creative space, especially if you're a poet or a singer, right now dating or with that person, it's like, don't piss them off.
Right.
Because it's going to live in their art for forever.
Yeah.
And if they're not really a part of that, but they're just hearing it, as it can be pretty tense. But the fact that y'all have that understanding and just that consent piece already, like, I write about my life. You're a part of my life. You're going to be in it.
Yeah. And fortunately for us, it was nothing that we ever had to like actually discuss. It's just something that becomes part of who we are. And it's also part of our communication, because sometimes I may not see all the different sides of a disagreement we may have had until I heard the poem, and I'm like, because she expresses herself a whole lot better in poems than actually like, this is how I feel. So sometimes I read the poem and I'm like, oh, I get it. My bad, yo.
But it's also, and it's speaking your language too.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah. I have sometimes if I'm going to go speak or if I'm doing a training, sometimes I just want to zone out. Like it's almost like I only want to listen to like maybe jazz, right? I don't want to listen. I'm not gonna turn the Pine 9 because I don't know what they're gonna play. Right. They can send me somewhere else. Do y'all have like little preparation things in regards to like the people around you? Because I can pretty much just kind of zone out, you know, and get ready for whatever I'm about to do. I may not eat anything heavy depending what it is. Any little things like that y'all do, like to prepare when you get ready to go on stage, perform?
I have to. I think we pretty much do the same thing. Kind of just practice to yourself, get away from people, and kind of like walk with it. What you're going to do. Yeah, I mean that's what.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Only thing I do, as far as like you talking about like the actual creative process or the performance process,
tying them both, like it's already created, but you about to go into that performance space.
Oh, well, all I do, I mean, like if I know I'm about to go up in about 15 minutes from now, I just maybe like if I have to do like a 3 or 4 poem set, I just walk around the block and recite 6 of them to myself. And like, okay, from this 6, this is going to happen on the stage. And I know what I'm going to start with. And then depending on the vibe of what's going on, I pull different, because my poems to me are just conversations. So I'm really vibing with the people. And I'm literally having a conversation on the stage, like the caveats in between the performance pieces. And if they're going off here, like I'll take something somebody say in the audience, like, oh, that's a slicky. Or that. And I'm like, yeah. And I got another piece that kind of melds into what that is.
Yeah.
You know, so it's kind of like a in the moment kind of thing. So I just rehearse, you know, stuff that I already know, of course, but I need to run through everything that I have, like right before I get on the stage.
Yeah, because you pretty much can't, like he said, like you can have like 6 things prepared, but you don't know what you're gonna do until you meet the audience. Or whatever. You just gotta know the room.
What's gonna fit.
I can't come somewhere and say I'm gonna do these 3. And then get there, I'm like, I don't think they want to hear those 3. So now I gotta switch up. So the real preparation can't come until I get there and I see other people perform and I see how the audience are reacting to that person. So
yeah, I think the main thing of communication is about knowing your audience. I think that's where most people mess up. They have a clear like so you gonna hear this.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna do this one.
You need to know your audience.
And that's why, like a lot of times, especially when it comes to spoken word, because I mean, there's a lot of spoken word performances that I'm not a fan of. Just keeping it real. It's like because it seems too much of a performance. It seems like a lot of people like to go up and perform monologues. Like you already have a prepared theatrical monologue, but you're not really engaging the actual people. And that makes for a different type of poetry performance.
Yeah.
So I don't really consider what I do performing as much as it is communicating.
Yeah.
I wrote all these different thoughts and things and rhyme schemes, this, that, and the other. So these are, communications. So, you got to, like they say in social settings, you read the room. So you don't, if people are engaged in a very deep spiritual, philosophical conversation, this is not the time to do an off-colored sex joke. Or it may be. You know what I mean? It's like, I want to change the vibe a little bit.
Yeah.
Right.
You heard the one about the banana and, whatever. So, but you know that you're consciously connecting.
Right.
So that whole thing of what we do on the stage is to consciously connect.
Yeah. So I want y'all to kind of tell us, because I can tell that y'all have like a good flow. Right, y'all vibe with each other. Like y'all like each other.
Oh yeah,
we really
like each other.
Y'all like each other. Like y'all have a lot of common interests, but y'all like each other. So when things go a little left and you have to consciously bring it back, what are some of the things that y'all do?
It gets tough.
It gets
tough because
we're mad that we're mad.
We're mad that we're mad. It's like in my head, I'm like, it's me. Like, what are you? What are you so mad? It's like what my intention was. That's what I get mad because I feel like being misunderstood. I hate it or whatever because I just end up feeling like whatever I do, I just feel like it's something that we can always talk about. Right. I don't feel like you have to sit with it and be so angry about it. I feel like I can always talk, but he has to.
Right, because of my particular background, it's like a lot of times I'll take, certain slight offenses as if I am like even questioning your motivation for what you're doing. Like for me, again, from coming from my background, it's kind of like, you know, everything is a life.
What background is that?
Don't do that.
I mean, I'm getting ready to do it next anyway. So tell us, you ain't got to tell us at all, but tell us a little bit.
Well, you know, a lot of disagreements, you know, were kind of like life and death disagreements. Like this misunderstanding could be like, you know, we're about to fight to the death. So let's get to the root of this. And that's not just like the streets. That's kind of like in the home environment. Yeah. Like things could go way.
Conflict means something different.
Right. Conflict means a whole lot of different things. So a lot of times my automatic defense mechanism is to deal with that. Like, oh, what we doing here? Like, so I'm like, you know, I may be a little bit more offended than I need to be about something that's going on if I'm not clear on the motive. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, what's going on here? Like, so it could be, you know.
Can you give us an example of a time where it was a disagreement between you all, conflict, and Tami meant something else, but you were taking it a totally different way?
Yeah. I would, you know, I'll give it like a general example. A general example is between us. My biggest offense is when, I'm trying to think of something. Because it's more so along the lines of, can you think of something real quick, or you don't got nothing?
I don't.
When I'm not being considered, right? Let's take I can't think of a particular.
The only thing I can think of, but I don't know what the issue was before. Right. When you bought the Jamaican food.
I was just thinking about food.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's a perfect example.
Yeah. And I felt like I wasn't being considered.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And with us again, it's the chicken and the egg. What came first?
Like he bought food home only for himself.
Wait, back up. You gotta tell the whole thing.
Yeah, I don't know what happened before that. That's what.
I can tell you what the whole. See, and the fact that she doesn't know what happened before that.
That's the problem.
That's the problem. And that's
so long ago.
That's usually what the problem tends to be. The problem tends to be both parties are very keyed in on how they are being offended.
I remember. Yeah.
And a lot of times with our things, it's like, you know, we're not really being considerate of the other person. And for me, most of my conflicts in life, everything is lack of consideration.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not so much what you're going to do, whatever.
Right.
But in this scenario, you're not considering what gave rise to anything that I did or gave rise to my response to. Because usually the arguments are my response to something that she's doing. And then it's like, yo, do you know where that came from? Or you looking at it as, you know, I always give the scenario of like, you stomp on my foot. And I go, motherfucker. You say, yo, you call me a motherfucker?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you're upset that I said, yo, you just stepped on my toe. You're not considering the fact that I felt like you stepped on my toe.
Right.
So I'm, you know, why are you raising your voice? You yelling at me, but you stepped on my toe.
I want to hear about this Jamaican food.
Okay, so this what happened with the Jamaican food situation. Okay, so this is a time period I was in school. Okay. And I was working a couple jobs at the same time, right? So I'm in school, working, So a lot of times I'm home, I'm not home, but it's only like maybe 1 or 2 nights out of the week that I'm home for the evening. And typically, you know, she cooks food, she does whatever, you know, those 1 or 2 nights that I'm home. So there's one night after working all day, both jobs, going to school, but I didn't work the night job. So I came home, dead tired, dead hungry, boom. It's, you know, maybe like 8 o'clock or whatever. You know, she at home chilling. And it was like, oh, I didn't know you was going to be home tonight. So instantly, I'm dealing with the fact that I wasn't considered. You know what I mean? That's how I felt. I'm just how I felt. I felt I wasn't being considered. Like, yo, it's only 2 days out the week that I'm home. Yeah. And it's always the same 2 days. Yeah. So this particular, you know, oh, I didn't know you were going to be here. Yeah, yeah. So I'm already dealing with how I'm feeling in you know, but usually I don't respond. I just feel how I feel. And whatever my action is going to be after that is me feeling how I feel. Yeah. So it wasn't like, oh, I didn't know you weren't going to be home. Let's go do something, or let me go da-da-da. It was like, oh, I didn't know you was going to be here. Yeah. And of course, this is all my version, how I felt. So it's like
she's not a dissenting voice though.
Right. Okay.
She's quiet.
Right. So I
think you're on point.
So I'm like, okay. So now I'm hungry. So let me go get myself something to eat. right? So I go get myself something to eat. I'm still, fuming. I haven't been considered that. Let me go to the Jamaican spot up the street and get something to eat. And the
that's a little different.
Yeah. So I went and got myself something to eat. I'm downstairs eating. I'm mad because, whatever. I got to go get myself.
The food don't even taste that good no more.
It don't. Because
you mad.
I'm mad. I'm tired. I'm hungry. It's late. So I had to go, up the street, around the corner, get some food. Boom, boom. Come all the way back. Now I'm eating. Boom. She come downstairs. Like, oh, you didn't get me nothing to eat? Yeah. So that's an incident.
And my issue with that was where I understood-ish.
Yeah.
It was that when I cook for the house. This day I didn't cook because I can't cook for one person. I can't cook for myself. I feel like it's selfish if I cook for just myself. That was my issue. If I said I didn't cook, I didn't eat either. So I could have used some Jamaican food as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand both sides. I like how you said that was a response. Well, I think you said a reaction to like, I wasn't considered. So that lets me know the domino effect was that you was fuming when you ordered it. You was fuming when you sat down to eat it. And then she got mad. So y'all just always mad, talk about, and then one platter. It's like, you want some here?
And then I nudge.
Yeah,
situations.
exactly.
I'll keep nudging, not even considering like what's going on with him, how he's feeling.
Right. So it continues his.
I didn't have to make
it continues his whole thing like you're not considering me.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I completely get that. Yeah. The thing you would have had to like be like, I'm gonna be super mature. Would you like something to eat? That would have been the ultra mature thing. But I understand what you was dealing with. Like, what you mean you don't know that I was gonna be home? Is this day? I completely understand it.
Not a change of schedule.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd been cool for me if it's like, oh, I didn't know you're gonna be home. Let's get something to eat.
Right.
Not, I didn't know he's gonna be home.
And leave it.
Go back to watching
Yes,
TV.
I need to go get something to eat.
Yeah,
because I need to feed myself.
Communicated like, yo, can you go around the corner and get us something to eat? No problem.
Yeah.
But it's like, oh, my bad, or I didn't know you was gonna be here, or something else. But it's like, I didn't know he's gonna be here.
I feel like food can bring people together and tear people apart.
Yeah, sure can. Well, we still together, so that's the part.
Yeah,
we still together. But
this Jamaican plate, I'm gonna crack up the next time I have some Jamaican food. I want y'all to tell us.
I should have been more mature and just like.
You could have been, but I understand it though.
I just wasn't.
I understand it. I understand both sides because I get it. Like, I don't just cook for myself. I gotta get both sides completely.
I do too. That's the thing. Now,
now. But in the moment, it's like, you might think about me. You know how I feel it.
Hey.
Can you give us a time when y'all felt the most connected?
The most?
Yeah, the most connected. Even think about maybe some of the activities that y'all do together where you like, yo, this is so like decent for us. Like, this is great. I love it when we do this together.
That's life.
I'm sorry,
sex.
but it is sex.
Oh yeah, sex.
Nobody has brought that up. Go ahead and talk about it.
Sex, It'd be some serious connections, like some.
Yeah, like we just had because we just had that really like for some reason a couple weeks ago we had this like really. We had sex in the morning, which we don't typically have sex.
I love morning sex.
Yeah.
I think night sex is so overrated.
No, but when we
that's the way we do it.
I like to get in bed at 8 o'clock. I'd rather wake up at 5 a.m. Like morning is the preferred time.
It is a different vibe.
The kids gonna be traumatized either way, but I mean the morning is the best vibe.
We parents, we got shit to do when we wake up, and we want to sleep as long as we want to.
Yeah, but this particular morning, Eli must have not been home. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what it was. Sometimes if the kid is out, we all over the place.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's just like. I don't even know what happened. It was like I felt like we was like so tuned in to each other for some reason. It was like euphoric.
Yeah,
sex.
we was in a different.
For some reason,
for both of us at the. I thought it was just me.
Was it ever been a time?
It was just me. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was both.
So was it something that y'all talked about afterwards? Or was it like,
okay. Did you feel
what happened?
Well, more of that, please.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's like with us, because when you ask the time we feel most connected. Like we usually feel like very, 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 very connected. Like 23 hours out of the 24. You know what I mean? Like, and then it's like our arguments are usually like they're not really. They go so left because we're always connected.
Yeah.
So when we're not connected,
it's like
it really brings y'all down.
It's like, yo, what's going on? Because we turn to almost strangers in like 5 minutes, and then until we over that thing, and then we get connected. You know, there's usually a deep connection directly after.
Right.
We done went through something. Yeah. We regain ourselves. Like, yo, how did we never shit like that ever happen again?
Is it just via like communicating or like how y'all connect after a big thing?
Yeah, it's kind of like it's how we communicate afterwards. But it's like our rebound time, I'm thinking, is getting a whole lot better.
Yeah.
Because even in the midst of like the very last argument we had, you know, I did an unprecedented thing of like, you know, I like to be mad when I'm mad. Like, I feel you. I'm in that motherfucker. Like,
I'm not. This is not an admittance. That's not an admittance for me. But I feel you. I'm not gonna say all the way. But I feel you.
Like when we're arguing, all the righteous indignation in life comes out of me, and like I am right, and I'm gonna sit in this, and you gonna feel this. But then it's like I've been getting to this space now where it's like I don't even care.
Right.
I don't care about me being right or correct or being on the side of what is correct. Exactly. I want us to be back to us. Yeah. So I'm like, yo, you know, even in the midst of being mad, I just hugged her like, yo, I love you and shit. Yeah. But
it doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like,
it doesn't.
Exactly. Right, because we mad.
Yeah, when I'm upset, I don't want to be touched either.
Yeah. Exactly.
I can't stand it. Don't try to take my attention away from what I'm focused on.
Exactly. Yeah.
You trying to divert me? No.
But in my mind, like I'm at a point now where it's like, it's a growth for me.
Yep.
That it's like I don't even care. For me not to care about being right is like, you know, that's because like I always say, I don't care if I'm right. I just want to be right. And what I mean by that is not even like my personal position, but everything about my life and the way I see the universe and the way I feel like the Most High has been looking out for me is to be on the side of what is right. Yeah. So if it happens to come out of my mouth, I'm riding with it. If it happens to come out of somebody else's mouth, I gotta ride for that. Right. So if we're having a disagreement, I need for you to let me know how I am wrong, so I can be on the side of what is correct. Yep. It's just how I am structured. You know what I mean? That's how I get through life. Period. I need to be on the side of what is correct. But now it's gotten to a point where it's like the Quran. You know, because I'm Muslim. The Quran say argument drives out the spirit of Allah. Like, so regardless of who's right or whatever, if y'all arguing, y'all driving away some good shit. Yeah. So, you know what I mean? Just stop arguing so you can get back to something good. So that's where I'm at now. That's my thing. Yeah,
and I think that rebound time is very important. Like I believe in not going to sleep, you know, angry. It may be, if it is a big issue, we can't solve it prior to night. Because like you said, we done went to work as kids. We don't have time. You know, to really solve it, but we should still be able to say goodnight, give each other a kiss. I love you. Tomorrow we're going to make time during this time. I feel like that's all that's needed for some emotional security, right? And some stability. I'm a firm believer in that. Does it happen all the time? Hell no. That ain't on me though. But but I'm just saying.
I just believe.
It don't always, but I am getting better. Like you said, even just like, if I do find that I made a mistake, I did something this morning. Towels on my clothes. What is wrong with you? Why you got your towel? I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. That's a small thing. You know, I even got on my knees and said, will you forgive me? Yeah. You know, she like grand gestures, whatever. Right. But for me, it's like normally I'd be like, you need to get over it. Like you shouldn't have had your towel on my clothes.
That's what I'm at.
They clean. Like why would you do that?
We gotta
However,
be better. Yes.
You know, how I addressed it, inappropriate, unnecessary. Is it a big deal? Am I still putting the clothes on? Absolutely. You know, so at the end of the day, all is well. All is well. You know, so did the hug thing and all of that. And it.
Yes.
See, stuff like that, like I have to practice in my, so I have to practice in my head how I'm going to say it to him. So if he put his towel on my clean clothes, I try not to be like, yo, what the fuck? Like I try not to do that. So it comes off as, so we just put in towels on clean clothes. Like it's going to come off.
Just a reminder, her stage name is LadySarkazym.
Right. And that would have even been better than what I did. Because I was like, what's wrong with you? Why you got your towel on my clothes?
Personally,
that would have been better for him.
That would have been better for me. like I'm an aggressive person, so
that would actually be better.
I'm better when people are just like, yo, what the fuck, yo, that made me feel like shit. Why did you put my stuff? My bad. I could come from that, but it's like
that made me feel like shit. Why?
The towel really ruined my day. It's only 9:00, but it ruined my whole day. I already know.
I'm no good for the rest of the day.
You ruined it.
But my thing is like I don't like passive aggressive.
Right.
I don't like sarcastic. You know what I mean? Because like those are the things, like again, from my own personal training, those are the things then, those people come back and stab you later. People who are straight in your chest, like, yo, I don't like that shit, yo. Can you do something about that? We already having our confrontation. So once we're done, that part is over.
Yeah.
So it's like, but okay.
Yeah.
And I gotta figure out that that's what's going on. Then what? Like, what's the problem? I mean, whatever. You know what I mean? So I'm more.
Say it.
Yeah, she gonna say it. She definitely gonna say it, but she'll say it in a way that's kind of like, yo, you got crack slick.
I gotta really sometimes really think about it.
Cause she got a very slick mouth. That's her thing. Yeah. And I love her for it. I love a slick mouth. That's what we here for.
I love a slick mouth. All right, so I know that each of you had children, right, before y'all got into a relationship.
Yes.
One each.
So how was that starting over? Because y'all children were a little older.
Right.
Yeah, y'all just started all the way over.
All the way.
How old is your baby now?
He's 9.
Yeah.
It wasn't a plan, but he's a wonderful addition.
Like we mixed up on this whole not a plan thing.
You want me to spill it? Yeah, I mean.
All right, shut up. It wasn't the plan the day it happened.
Yeah.
Y'all talked about it.
I don't recall it. I don't recall us that we would say we would like to have one together.
Okay, I don't think it was a definite. I don't think it was like.
Oh, maybe we did have a conversation. I mean, you and the universe definitely had a conversation because he's here. So that's definitely what's up. I mean, or we in the universe.
The inside conversations that happen at the table.
Anyway.
No, it's
I already done said I breadcrumbs you in, so now everybody gonna think I trapped you with a baby.
No, it's too long. Ain't no trap.
Hey, ain't no trap. Yeah. Like, no.
The trap only lasts like a year.
I'm definitely an accomplice.
It's usually over during the pregnancy. Like, no.
No, I'm complicit in everything. I'm definitely for the ride. But yeah, we starting over, it's like, just like most things in my life, there's certain things I don't necessarily plan for, but it was the best part of the plan. Mm-hmm. Like starting over, it was almost literally like that for me in a lot of ways. Mm-hmm. That the growth, the development of parenting, I never had the opportunity to parent my oldest child, who's 28. Mm-hmm. I didn't have the opportunity to parent her the way that I want to. Mm-hmm. In a loving relationship with the parent. Mm-hmm. She's a byproduct of divorce somewhere in there. And, the scars that's on that. Parenting from different houses. Mm-hmm. You're with me for the weekends. You're over here. Yep. So you're not doing your best work as a parent, because most parenting is ideally it's a day-to-day thing.
Day-to-day, yep, absolutely.
You know what I mean? It's the nuances of watching every little thing, being there, just, it's a hands-on kind of thing. When you're parenting from afar, phone conversations, and I don't see you every day, mm-hmm. The beginning of your day, the end of your night, a lot gets lost in that. So to have the opportunity to do that again, the day-to-day thing's been rewarding beyond mm-hmm. measure.
Yeah, yeah. What about for you?
I've never had that opportunity either to parent in a two-person household. Yeah. It's very beautiful and very like they're best friends. Mm-hmm. So at first it was like mommy, but by the time he passes 6, it's just mm-hmm. them two all the time. I'm definitely here for it. Hey, so I get a lot of me time. It's fantastic. I definitely didn't have that situation. My son is now 23. Mm-hmm. And his dad, we broke up when he was like 1 or 2. Mm-hmm. And it's definitely to have a grown ass man as a father to your child mm-hmm. is It's a totally
it's a game changer.
Different experience.
And I think everything in the universe lines up, because even with our children, we've had opportunity. I met my oldest son when he was 11. So I had the opportunity to, be a part of that process. And it's deeper to have adult children in their 20s with a 9-year-old, because you have like kind of a generational feed in. Certain things that the adult children didn't get, during that process, they're getting. Like life, gives you something to supplement what you didn't get. Yeah. And you get so them being an older sibling to the younger one, they're getting fed in different ways. Yeah. They're connecting to us different ways. This is the first time, because I just had my 50th birthday. So
happy belated birthday. When's your birthday?
September 8th.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So it's like having opportunity to go into this next chapter of us being parents to adults as well as to new parents, because
and being grandparents.
Yeah, that's the point. Like, our oldest children are in the realm of new parenting. Right. Now we're in the realm of grandparenting. Right. And having older children and have a 9-year-old. So we're going into that journey. Yeah. And we still look good as shit. Flies. Yeah. We out here in these streets.
That's that good black don't crack.
Yeah. That's a big mom over here. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm somebody's grandma.
Exactly. Somebody's grandma.
Like I said, my son just came home to visit from the Army. Yeah. Right before Christmas. And, all of his friends are at the house. And I'm trying to keep them all, these grown-ass men, in the house. Like, nope. I got drinks in the basement. Y'all smoke weed out back. Nobody's going anywhere. Right. I'm like, and I run outside in my slippers. They all got in a car at one point. I run outside in my slippers. Where y'all going? Get back in this house. Right. You're like, Tammy, where you going? I'm not telling the boys to come in. You're like, what boys?
I was like, this grown-ass men. Let them in the streets.
No, it's dangerous. No, I was more scared with my son being in Philly than I am with him being in the Army. Y'all are staying in this house. Go smoke weed out back. Drinks in the basement. Everything is here.
That's new grandma. You can smoke and drink here. We need to put a poll here. Y'all need to invite some friends over.
They're over 23 years old.
Keep y'all in the house.
All y'all. And they was like, oh, okay. They all got their grown out their car and came back in the house.
We talked about something about, that black don't crack. So in essence, they have a recent article that focuses on black love. So they got about 10 couples. Right. So I think for Philly, I think I called y'all like the first family of poetry years ago. Right. When y'all were getting merchandise from me. I think I had a picture of you and the baby. Right. What were y'all? I was like, yeah, this is the first family of poetry. Right. So define black love for us.
Oh, define black love?
Define it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you got something? Oh, shit. I can get on that one. Yeah, black love is like, is rooted in something ancient. We're the first human beings on the planet. So we're the prototype for humanity. Yeah. So, if you're rooted in that, first of all love is rooted in black love. And, if you white, whatever, you're not rooted in black love, then you gotta, because we're the mother and fathers of civilization. So we have to realize that, first of all, that we're carrying on ancient traditions of life and civilizations and generations of people. So our approach to love, the most revolutionary act, a lot of us like to talk woke culture, the most revolutionary act is black love, because it's how other people get here. You know what I mean? So we gotta cherish black connection. That's black love. It's you gotta challenge that. Like I have a poem called Black Gold. The first line is, I had to remind myself to mine myself. I'm black gold. It means it's gold within us. Yeah. So those are the connections we're trying to make when we're, we just can't haphazardly, oh, she cute, let me just get with her. No.
Right.
We're the reservoir of life. So we got to treat that thing special.
Yeah.
Ditto.
I feel like love, it really does reveal who you are. And there's like an unshedding with that, right? An unfolding. You cannot truly love somebody and not find out some new shit about yourself.
Come on.
And just about life altogether. So can you tell us a time where it's like, I didn't know that. Like, you learn something about yourself just from you loving and consciously connecting with each other. Like, I think for me, we talked earlier, you said, I just know, like, being considerate is very important. Mm-hmm. And for me, I noticed that as well. Very independent, could be out here, go to movies, I can take trips by myself. But when I'm with you and I'm constantly connecting with you, you better consider me, damn it. So is it anything that you learned about yourself through loving each other?
Ooh, I think
and if you could tell us a time of where it like kind of hit you too, like kind of put us in the room with it.
Well, let me say this first. I don't know. I can probably think of a time, but I think we spoke recently. We are continuously learning things because it's always new experiences, right? So we're always learning how each other is going to handle a situation, or it's always new things that come up. You never know which way the person is going to go. But being with him, I always say this is the first relationship where I know I'm completely myself, 100% myself. And that was the comfortableness of when we first got together and stayed together that weekend. It's like, I'm just chilling. I'm just being me or whatever. And more things, a lot of things just come out of that. Like, I'm completely comfortable with sharing anything with him, and I know he's not going to judge me. He's going to lean into it, and he's going to ask the questions, and we'll both do the same thing with each other. That makes us more comfortable to bring other things out. I don't know. Can you think of a time? I don't know if I could think of like because it's like every day. It's like so just every day and everything that we do. Like, he'll just come out and say, oh, you know, you used to have a bow tie bean pie store. Like, it's like it's like I'm always learning, and I'll be like, what? You know, I used to manage Capadonna. It's like a lot of things just come
all these things happen, by the way.
Like, like over the years, and I'm like, what
who is this boy?
Right? Like, a lot of stuff.
I think that's one of the things, like, this is the first time I've been in a space with like any other human being. I'm talking about from the time I was born to now, that I felt comfortable to share like all the different things that I am. Like, you know, starting with my mother to everyone, I've always compartmentalized my life. Not out of like, I gotta protect this. I just didn't think most people can handle all the different things that I am, because I'm light, I'm dark, I'm a whole lot of things at one time. So, you know, the more we get closer, that's when all the different stories come out. Because I've done so many different things in my life. I think people just think I'm lying anyway, so I'm not even going to bring that up. Like, you know, the month that was, you know, Capadonna's manager from Wu-Tang and shit. Like, like, you know what I mean? Like, these different things happen in these weird spaces. That like, oh yeah, you know, I did go on tour with them. Remember, I did the Hard Knock Life tour. Like, I was, you know, different things. But there's never been a space to talk about all the different things that I am, as well as all the different emotional spaces that I've been. So there's so many examples of opportunities to be vulnerable in our relationship. Like, you know, all those things.
One thing I'd say is that the way he sees me, I get to see myself that way, which it's love. It's just so much love. It just brings out so much in me to do different things.
It's okay.
I don't want to get like
this is what we here for.
Get like kind of emotional when I talk about it, because it's just a love that I never experienced before. Like, I was
don't fight it. Don't fight it. Don't fight it. Lean into it.
Go ahead.
Oprah.
She Oprah and you. Go ahead and cry.
Like, because I was always considered weird. I was always the weird one in any room since I was a kid. I don't even think I'm that fucking weird. I think I was always around the wrong people.
Exactly. That's what it is. The weirdos.
But even in my family, I'm the weird one. But with him, the way he see me, like he think I'm the greatest thing walking.
Yeah.
You are.
And it took me a minute to accept that. But I do accept it, and it makes my work greater.
Yeah.
It makes everything that I do, because it's so much confidence behind everything that I do now. Even the way I present myself, it's just so much confidence behind it because of love. So
and vice versa. It's like, she's a battery in my back.
Yeah.
Of like, just we could do. There's very little things that we can't really do. Like a thought can come in our heads and like, I'm gonna go do that. And you're not with somebody that's so intimidated by you just being a bigger version of yourself.
Yep.
Did he try to pull you back? Oh, I can't deal with you being that big. Won't you come back in this box?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just do regular nigga shit like here, so we don't have to be so big.
Yeah.
It's like, no, we can do big. We do a tour. We can do whatever.
Yep.
And one of the most hurtful things that I feel like we had to go through being on a poetry scene where people are in your business as a couple is like, people do their debates of who's better the same way they do top 5 in hip hop.
Yeah.
So where somebody may think he's better or somebody may think I'm better, a conversation became, he must be holding me back because I'm not doing as much as he's doing. When this is my biggest cheerleader.
Yeah.
But that became the conversation, unfortunately, in the poetry community. Yeah. Because,
amongst a couple people, there wasn't no community.
Not a community, among a few people.
Four people ain't got nothing better to do with their lives.
That's not a community.
Yeah. Keep it a buck.
Stop it. But, no, but go.
Bust out.
But, that became a conversation, which, that's messed up that people do that the same way they do with celebrities or whatever. Like, y'all in these folks' business, they're fine.
Exactly. And they're people.
Because Beyonce could be doing this with JB. Y'all ain't got nothing better to do with your life.
Right.
Let them people
That's how I feel.
Their albums. Beyonce made Lemonade.
Right.
Jay-Z made 444. Yeah. Here y'all go.
Right.
Like,
y'all want some business, go buy these records.
Yeah.
Right.
And y'all still don't know everything.
You still don't know everything. Just go buy these records.
You still
Watch the
don't
video.
know.
Chill out.
But and the same, like, we put all our stuff, like, if you listen, you can hear what's going on.
Right.
You can hear everything that's going on. We're going to talk about it.
Yeah, I like that y'all mentioned the resistance that comes up. I feel like to actual love. I feel like there's always one person, or at least both people, who are repeating some patterns, right, some habits, and really questioning and having to confront.
Yeah.
Like, do I feel like I'm good enough?
Yeah.
You know, and even am I good enough to do this? And do I deserve to receive this?
That part.
So, yeah, that part. And I feel like people look at you and be like, oh, you're completely confident, you're great, you're wonderful. And, it's because of what you do, though, right? They're looking at some of the things that you do. But no, you're just great and wonderful because you are. Right. So what was a moment for you? Did you have a moment, E, where maybe you didn't have a certain idea or ideal about yourself, but then Tami kind of brought that out of you?
Yeah. I mean, it's like, the biggest idea is I've always been, my motivation has always been to fight, like to fight circumstances.
Yeah.
Like I was, I never did a woe is me as a child. I felt like there's a whole bunch of unfortunate circumstances that existed in my life, but I had everything that I needed to get out of those circumstances, but I had to fight. You know what I mean? So everything with me is a fight. So the thing that unfolded here was that it's like, oh, don't fight me. I'm fighting with you. Yeah. Because I'm ready to fight everybody. So, I felt like I've always had to fight people to be considered.
All my life I had to fight.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I felt. Like, you know what I mean? I had to always fight. So when it's like, yo, no, don't swing this way. I'm fighting with you. Yeah. Let's go fuck these people up. I'm with you though. I'm on your side. Don't swing this way. Yeah. That was the biggest thing, to realize I didn't have to fight with the person that's fighting with me.
Yeah. And I like that, because we all naturally have that fight or flight, right? Or freeze response. For me, I want to be in flow. Right. I want to be in flow. We can have a little conflict. We can have, a little disagreement, but being in the flow is still like, all right, what we going to do next? That's still in the flow, because life going to happen. Right. Like, we're human. If y'all could leave the audience, the listeners, with any like pieces of advice in regards to consciously connecting, really cultivating that Black love wherever they are in their lives. They single, they partner. But what would it be?
For me, it's always intention. It's you're with someone. If you start off knowing that you feel like the person has a good intention, then things should never get so heated where you feel like you can't go back to it or whatever. Everybody, of course, is going to get mad. But that intention piece is very important to know that, like, I'm not fighting against you. This is a disagreement. I know your intention is good or whatever. So starting there is like, we can always get back.
I like that.
I agree. I would say it the other way, though. Make sure that your intention is because believing in the intention of your partner is key. That's definitely key, because it's like, if you don't believe that person has your best interest, I love you, I care for you, you're gonna look at them with a side eye the whole time. So every you're growing and getting to know this person before you decide to, like, yo, we're a thing. You have to get to a point where you at least trust their intentions towards you. Everything they're doing is either out of ignorance, out of their own training, out of this, that, and the other, but they mean you well. If you believe that, then, you know, y'all could get through those things. But likewise with yourself, if you make sure that your intentions are pure, like, no, I do love this person. I do want to get to a good connecting space with this person. Because if that's not even your intention, if you're with somebody that's for a reason and a season, and I've been in many a relationship where I had to actually, when the moment I realized, like, this is a seasonal, this is every relationship I get into, my intention is always a forever thing. Every relationship since as a teenager, the moment that I realized like, yeah, this does not have the components for a forever situation, we're moving towards getting out of this thing. At least I am. So if your intentions towards this person is like, yo, this person I want to fight with to get to that space, everything else will take care of itself. Trust their intention, trust your own intention, and y'all just keep working, learning how to communicate, let go of certain things. You know, y'all will get to that space.
I like that.
Don't say be open to positive change. Like, sometimes people stay in a space of, this is who I am or whatever. So, but who you are can need some tweaking at times. Like, how has who you are been working out for you?
You gonna have to deal with it. You ain't even deal with it. You ain't even sit with you.
Staying so firm in it. Well, this is who I am. And then they go on to say, everybody that I deal with got a problem with this. Well,
that's a clue. Ding, ding.
Where's the spoon? It's like, you know, always be open to positive change. It's not about changing who you are.
But how you do some things.
We are always growing. We are always becoming. You've never arrived.
We're always becoming.
We have never arrived. So
absolutely.
That part.
There you go. Conscious Connection moment. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. This was great.